The year's 2011. PlayStation Network is on fire. The FBI is fighting off Anonymous, and I am on my third cheeseburger as I wait for school time to be over so I can go home without anyone suspecting that I've been skipping it. Home life clearly disturbed by the lack of sick Modern Warfare trick shots. So desperate to bring some order back into our household, my dad takes me to the nearest video world, lets me grab a game called Infamous, and on the right back I open this fucking cover of FIFA 10 for some reason. And oh, what a wonderful little neighborhood. This is fucking what the fuck? Game openings. In 1971, there was often referred to as the first arcade machine and commercial video game, Computer Space, released. A game about having the zoomies in space. And with that, a whole new market opener. I mean, in that same year, Galaxy game released too, and that was the first case of a move a button to start screen. And that game was about having the zoomies in space. Fun fact, the actual first video game was Space War, in which you sort of have the zoomies in space. Watch out, Star Wars. Space Wars is coming for your throne. Okay, technically it might have been this tennis game from 1958, which also just sort of looks like a ball in space. But that's not their point. General purposes in the beginning stage of a press a button to start screen was to like run demos and attract potential gamer girls to the coin gobblers over here. The screen is just screaming at you. This could be you, but you ain't playing, boy. Grab Monster Energy, why don't you? And get clicking and grabbing. And once you start pushing the buttons, the machine is ready to gobble up those precious coppers of yours. But once consoles hit the market, the press button to start fucking cream yourself button didn't really need to exist anymore. It still did, mainly just for kiosk purposes. For all the times mommy and daddy are looking for a spicy film to rejuvenate what is obviously long gone. And since we don't want little Timmy over here looking at what mommy and daddy are browsing, going, Daddy, what's that between his legs? Giving daddy a reason to yell at Timmy, go check out those fucking games over there, God! But the screen was also there to provide like a safe starting screen, giving you the option to reset your game and not be immediately eaten by ghosts or something. Because back in the olden times, consoles did have a cheeky little button, which was similar to like a self-destruct button, and then it just returned you to the starting screen, erasing all your previous progress. Because I guess the real Dark Souls of video games was any game released before Dark Souls. And additionally, it was also functioning as like a tool to see which controls being used for the current game session, with an extent to which profiles actually play in the game in later console generation, making sure that little Timmy over here doesn't delete Spicy Daddy's max game file. But nowadays you log into your account automatically without even thinking about it. And hell, the start button doesn't even fucking exist anymore. So why even keep the press any button to start screen at this point? Because it can be sick as fuck. Press start to begin screen and whatever follows can often be a stinking turd of disappointment. I mean, sometimes you get some old cranky lady ramble on and on about the old ones who thought you were an asshole that was fought over by the decrepit ones, who actually, in turn, became the pegged ones over the cause of a 1,000-year gangbang of 87 or some shit. It's Dark Souls. I'm talking about Dark Souls. Come on, Miyazaki. You know just as well as I do that we're both here for the cock and ball torture, alright? Stop teasing me already. But seriously, openings that do kick you right in the ball sack or the pussy hole, depends on who you are, and toss you right into the most badass fight scene you could ever fucking imagine is usually what I'm looking for in an intro, alright? Show me what I'm dealing with here. Slap me on my ass and let me figure it out. Bonus points if it's a wet towel, alright? Make it real spank. For such an intro, take God of War as an example. As soon as you press start, my guy has already had enough of your bullshit. Lee Dave Jaffe and the team at Sony Santa Monica wanted to let you know this ain't your daddy's PlayStation exclusive, alright? They'll certainly bang that into your brain. But sometimes, it just starts with the Italian plumber on a mission to get his dick wet. I mean, shit, it's the 80s now. Everyone is well familiar with OPs thanks to fucking MASH. So why don't we mash a button to jump right into game openings? Alright, Mario Bros. Legacy is made that it took the gaming industry out of the pile of shame it was in and saved it from dying out of tragic twins accidents. But it should really go down in history as one of the hardest openings to any game ever. The smooth transition from Italian standing to Italian walking is truly a moment to remember. While technically it's not the first Mario game, it is the first one where he's the title protagonist and doesn't have squeaky SpongeBob boots on. Well, then you had a lot of classics such as the original Pac-Man where the start screen is a black screen with the stitches of those lined up like a fucking football squad. Or how about the game that killed gaming? Wow. You show me, T, or whatever the fuck this is supposed to be. But finally, 3 years after witnessing Mario stomping the shit out of that Goomba, Nintendo dropped The Legend of Zelda and went way too hard with that starting screen. I mean, it's sheer simplicity is what makes it so perfect. The game not only gives you a quick summary of the lore, but also starts listing off all the items in the game. And honestly, I can't explain why I love that so much. It's like having the opening crawl of Star Wars with like a screenshot of all the WikiLeaks articles. Watch out, Space Wars. Star Wars is coming. And also the way the screen just turns ominous blue once you press a button. I mean, why is it blue? Speaking of blue, come on, man. Not only does Mega Man 2 kick off with the hardest of bangers, it's also accompanied by that sick suiting up transition. Like, fuck, dude. Only thing hard in this game is my wrecked P. What I'm saying is that Mega Man died, so Iron Man could die. Something about the color blue seemed to resonate in the 80s and 90s, because in 1991, the knuckleheads over at Sega were desperate to catch up to an average Italian plumber by spinning up a character design that would lead to lots of eggheads around the world craving that tail. Alright, so Sonic's legacy is mainly poor. We all know this, and it is a fact. Many people, though, such as myself, have an unreasonable hatred of this little guy, but even I have to admit that in 1992, Sega blew me away with this starting screen. Let's ignore the fact that I was born in 1997. And stop saying blue. With the addition of a little fox you can hand to your little brother so he can stop pretending to play on the deck controller, and instead, let's be honest, they'll be handed a deck controller anyway because fucking Timmy over here just would not fucking stop getting in the fucking way. Jesus fucking Christ, fuck off. By the way, I'm Turkish, so I don't know anyone called Timmy. And also, I am the younger brother, so... The game also featured a soundtrack that impressed Michael Jackson of all people. Famously went on to help with the soundtrack for the third game, which is crazy to think about. Okay, shit. And this nice cover art to gameplay transition, I mean, this shit might look like your average PowerPoint transition nowadays, but it's become a staple for a reason, right? In the blue street, we got Final Fantasy 3 or 4, I guess, which hits you with that 2001 Space Odyssey type beat right off the bat, giving you that spooky, ominous vibe that honestly still looks and sounds like your dad's favorite video game. But now we're entering the next generation of console gaming.
Yes, friends, I'm talking about this. It may look like a harmless bagel toaster.
With the release of the first PlayStation, console gaming hit a whole new level of mainstream. We finally entered a new dimension, the brand spanking new realm of 3D gaming. Now, technically, 3D gaming already existed, but you know. Empowered by CD-ROMs, games will look and sound better than ever.
Resident Evil.
These intros made me shit my pants as a kid, because when my brother and I visited a friend of ours who popped this bad boy into their PS1, we quickly left screaming and crying. Surely that was everyone, right? Now, looking back on this opening, it's actually quite cheesy and stupid, like fun stupid. Oh, fucking look out, Leon. Don't let these cow-licked puppet meatballs roaming around these rough-looking, cutting-edge 3D graphics streets get you. But Kidney was absolutely terrified by these things. And shout out to this title screen from Tomb Raider Chronicles, where Laura does her best stacked Batman and Neo cosplay impression. I mean, truly an iconic moment from an icon. Less of an icon, but just as much of a fever dream, is Siphon Filter, with the title screen just being a bunch of silly little goobers acting like that one kid in gym class who for some reason was allowed on the mattress alone. Benson really told the Wachowski sisters to get bent by absolutely dodging the lawsuits by releasing months ahead of The Matrix. Just look at this. Also, I love how they added like the characters' names to the screen too. Like, oh shit guys, it's that fucking Gabe Logan and his friends. Don't tell me we got Gulp Shitto in here too or some shitto. Didn't take much for a PS1 game to scare the absolute bull cut off my oiled up forehead. Hell, I was terrified playing Oddworld, and honestly, anything that wasn't sunshine and rainbows. So basically, just FIFA and Tekken. And even those games, although to be fair, Oddworld still gives me the fucking creeps, not gonna lie. Yo, my dude, this is just fucking scary. I don't know, something about the graphics made me feel uneasy at the time. I mean, it might have been the fact that I was like 3 years old and my undeveloped fucking dum-dum brain was trying to adjust from Teletubbies to Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, the video game. Games that were less likely to put a Victorian child into a coma were found on the N64. Actually, never fucking mind. A console that was so powerful, so innovative, that changed the gaming landscape completely, that nobody bought. It's weird how everyone has such fond memories playing games like Mario 64, Majora's Mask, and other gaming staples, considering like nobody bought the damn thing, but at the same time, It's not actually all that weird. I mean, every friend group had one sucker that bought the thing, and everyone else just leeches experiences off of it. Which, in a way, was kind of the point of the N64. It was like the G-spot where all the gamers came together to enjoy the birth of many of Nintendo's party games that we all know so well today. Be it Mario Kart, Mario Party, Smash Bros, Wayne Gretzky's 3D Hockey 98. But two games come to mind when I think of iconic home screens on the N64. I probably have a higher playtime count on this screen than the actual game itself. I mean, morphing Mario's face into an eldritch monster gave my child self the cathartic chaos that I craved. And I craved it, alright? Finally, I could do whatever I wanted to the silly little Italian plumber guy. He was mine. Come here, Pratt.
I'm Mario.
You know, this genre of press button to play screen is up there with my actual favorite. Press button to get right into the bullshittery. But one of the games that falls neatly into this beautiful ass screen that makes me not want to actually press the button to play screen would be Xenoblade Chronicles, which honestly is just so fucking beautiful. Like, so beautiful that one of you fuckers may have it as their wallpaper, and I understand why. Hell, I haven't played Xenoblade yet, and I'm considering it. Sword on Field. What more does a gamer girl want? Well, Swordsman on a horse, riding through field, is a pretty tight competitor. And yes, I'm talking about his ass. Ocarina of Time is a timeless game that many consider one of the greatest to this day. And this Hobbit movie's ass opening screen is part of the reason why, to me at least, it's extremely special. Now, Sega did go out swinging. Yes, only 5 people bought their console at this point, but they did deliver Crazy Taxi, which might make up for some of the damage they caused with Sonic. That game had a crazy soundtrack, and hell, that title screen is fucking insane. It immediately promises high-octane action, bangers-only music, and can you drive me to Pizza Hut? Now, the 6th generation of consoles sniped Sega out of the competition, and like a phoenix rising, Microsoft birthed the Xbox, starring Dwayne the Fuck Johnson. And more importantly, Halo. And Halo Combat Evolved is one of the few games that I played as a kid that I actually remember front and back. Most games I played as a kid, I don't even remember the names of, mainly because I played some dog-ass games. But Halo's title screen immediately introduced you to Marty O'Donnell's gift to humanity. They don't do any fancy transitions into gameplay, but just the panning shots of the Halo ring alone give you so much promise. Technically, it doesn't say press a button to start because I guess the rebels at Xbox and Bungie took Evolved as fuck your video centers. Over at Sony, more specifically in Sony Santa Monica, they were cooking up every rage gamer's wet dream in the form of God of War. And not only did they create the sexiest bold protagonist to ever be bold, but they also hit you with the hardest title screen to ever screen. As soon as you feel ready to dive into the game, Kratos introduces you to his idea of doing that same thing by ending your game and his life immediately. Thankfully though, for us, he is cursed and will suffer endlessly for our entertainment. So that's good. No other franchise managed to be so consistently brilliant with the way they open their games. The first game's opening being one of the most memorable openings to any game ever. But then they continue their streak with the second game, transitioning to him in the throne with your mom and his sister at his feet. And while the third one is a bit of a cop-out in terms of transitioning, yeah, it transitions from menu straight to game, but then it transitions again to what might just be the sickest, hardest game opening to anything ever, bro. Continue right where you left off in the second, and having you climb Mount Olympus, fighting the god of the fucking seas, drowning all of Athens. Yeah, it's okay. God of War 2018? Start with Kratos. And a tree. It's honestly such a brilliant opening considering the switch in tone and gameplay, showing you, yeah, bold angry man still bald and angry, but he has beard now. And well, maybe he's even a little less angry. Ragnarok continues in 2018's footprint, the opening immediately by setting the stage, showing boy is now man. He hunt, he low-key providing, he low-key. And this one even throws in some action in there. No, it's crazy. This might just be one of the greatest game openings. Persona 5's press button screen making you jump around Tokyo rooftops, doing backflips and thirst trapping the hell out of our speedy cameraman is honestly a work of art. Not to mention how we get to this damn screen. One of the first things you see when you boot up this game is Catgirl ass and these red drenched backgrounds. That's just beautiful. On the transition from anime opening to home screen, Joker just casually swings over the screen, hero fucking lands, and then stunts on your ass. Christ. Now you'd be hard pressed to find a gamer girl who has not spent countless hours on this screen right here. For over a decade now, Mojang has been feeding us nonsense one-liners with backgrounds that lead to teams of people trying to figure out its exact chunk, location, seed, and what. It's just so fucking rad. And they found it. I think. I don't know. I haven't caught up. Some straight up beautiful game openings can be found in The Last of Us. They do something that I haven't really seen any other games do. They change. Once you beat the game, the home screen changes to reflect the journey you've been on. After finishing part 1, you find Ellie's knife. Wow. But the whole image looks more weathered down. The walls especially look much more like the wrinkly skin on your mom's cat. In part 2, the beginning screen looks dreary and sad. It's a location you will actually visit towards the end, and it is a bit of a oh shit sad moment too. Once you beat the game, you find the boat now docked in a whole new location, looking much more bright and giving hints towards where some of the characters may be headed. It's such a genius idea. This is a case where I wish we jumped straight from button screen to gameplay, but instead we greeted by this mobile app ass UI first, which is such a shame, but at the same time, the opening makes more than up for it. Plus, the title card sequence may be one of the best in the video game history. It also holds the record for quickest smash skull in entertainment history, I think. And if you're ever in a who grows their ballsack hair the quickest contest, just boot up this game and within seconds, you will win. Competitive judges hate this trick. Another hot-ass intro is found in Bioshock 1. It just starts by throwing puzzle pieces in your face and then crashes you into the dopest city of them all. In the literal sense of the fucking word. Foreshadowing the big daddies, the ideals, the vision, the fucking what the fucks. Big shout out to Uncharted 2 for having such a sick game opening. Starting up by waking up on a fallen train is probably one of the hardest ways you can open your game. Sadly, it's got a pretty lackluster home screen. But Uncharted 4's home screen, that shit got me dead. And also it immediately throws you into Nate's bullshittery, which is where I like to be. Quite an odd example of the press start screen exists within the GTA franchise, because it simply doesn't have one. Most if not all the GTA games, they just start. You get the iconic never-ending loading screen, and after that, off you go. Go on then, chapper. Drive over a hooker, enter some cheat codes, and I don't know, shoot a bazooka or some shit. Now another developer who enjoys to press X to backflip onto this swing that may shoot you a lot, leaving lots of bullets up your butt and or stabs, is Sucker Punch. Lads and laddies over there love sucker punching you straight from menu into the game, as seen in the beginning of this here video. You also got the infamous first lights of the world, where you get right into the sweet memories between a brother and sister, where they stab a bunch of needles up their arms. And then there is Ghost of Tsushima, where you transition right into war. Hell yeah, brother. Me stick my honor deep down your throat, brother. Other great examples of slapping you on your ass with a wet towel and letting you explore immediately can be found in the beginning of Inside, where, well, you just run, and there you go, lad. Enjoy. Max Payne 3 also kinda does this, but you know, not really. It is a brilliant opening though, really letting you continue your bold, angry man fantasy that we all know every gamer deep down has. Some quick shoutouts for stuff I wrote down but I didn't really have a place to put them in include Spider-Man PS4, which is just so good. Really makes you feel like Tom Holland's less attractive brother. Then there's fucking Bloodborne, which hands down is the best opening to any From Software ever. Only Sekiro even coming close to it in my opinion, or maybe even Elden Ring, which is also kind of sick. And then there's Demon Souls, which is also kind of oddly enough Animal Crossing N64, just because I like this little dude walking about, transitioning to Guitar Man. I don't know, it's nice and peaceful, you know. Oh, where did I forgot Resident Evil for going Resident Evil every time. I just love it so much. Resident Evil Revelations 2, especially with that fucking guy's eye just staring at you, it's cool, man. Some sort of cool ones too are like Lords of the Shadow 2, which is so odd looking, but I kind of love it. Dishonored 2, huh? This is what? And that's all, baby. See ya next time.